Okay, continue, please, Dr. Alibaba. Dr. Alibaba.
Yes, I can hear you now. I can hear
Okay,
you.
good. You can continue with the question. Let me come again with the question. What specific areas of the economy do your
Okay.
region have comparative advantages for industrialization over other regions in Nigeria, and why?
Uh, Thank you so much. Talking about eastern part of Nigeria, we're talking about 5 states initially. We have Adamawa State, Borno State, Gombe State, Taraba State, Yobe State, and Bauchi State. We have 6 states. So these states or this region has a population of 32 to 35 million to 32 35 million. We have comparative advantage over other regions in terms of agricultural and livestock resources. One. Two, we have strategic location for trade. Two. And three, we have solid minerals. Even though I know there are some regions that also has some significant deposit of solid minerals, we also have some significant deposit of solid minerals. Mention a few. We have gypsum, we have limestone, we have uranium, we have kaolin, we have bentonite clay, we have gold and gemstone. Actually, the Northeast has extensive arable land suitable for crops like sorghum, millet, maize, sugarcane, and groundnut. Actually, it is also a center for livestock, especially cattle, which support leather, dairy products, and meat processing industries in the country. The strategic location I'm talking about is the northeastern region has border with Chad, Federal Republic of Chad. We have border with Niger as well as Cameroon. This region is land linked rather than landlocked, serving as a gateway to Chad, Niger, and Cameroon. This cross-border access opportunity for export-oriented industries and integration into the African continental free trade area. Also, when we look at the limestone I talked about, we have the gemstone. Gemstone in northeast Nigeria, we have deposits of about, is estimated to be 1 billion tons of gemstone. 1 billion tons of gemstone. I know in Northwest we also have limestone, but the limestone deposit in Northeastern region is purer to some extent and it has less extraction cost. And we have about 200 to 300 million extractable tons deposits in that region. Uh, Also, kaolin, we have almost about 3 billion tons of deposits. And we have bentonite clay, about 700 to 800 million tons deposit in that region. So I think with this point, I think we have a comparative advantage to some extent over other region of the country.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ali Baba Usman. You can see that Nigeria is blessed all over, everywhere. We are blessed. We just need to put things in
Sure,
order,
sure.
and we'll be able to transform the country to the second China of the world. And that can be only possible if the likes of every one of us in this session do the needful and contribute in a positive path. So now we have, I don't know if Dr. David is around so that he can contribute to this first question before we move to the second question. Dr. David, are you with us? Okay, no, then let's proceed to the, Dr. Fadila, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, okay. I can see this is not showing your name, it's showing user. Okay, no problem. Let's go to the second question. Please, we have to be very brief so that everybody can have his or her time, then we can continue. Uh, what are the challenges? What are the core challenges impending industrialization of these areas in your region? What are
Oh,
the core challenges impending industrialization of these areas in your region?
the core challenges.
Am I to go first?
And,
Okay, okay,
and Dr. Fadila first, then we'll just go in that order.
okay.
Okay. Go ahead,
This
Dr. Fadila.
okay. The core challenges, I want to divide them into two
Okay.
in form of, let's say, security and infrastructure. I'll group them together. Then human capital and institutional.
Okay.
When I'm talking about insecurity, out of the seven states that are under the Northwest, five are under serious.
We can hear you, Dr. Fadila. You are making important points. Security, infrastructure, human factor, human capital, human capital development, and institutional framework. We can't hear Dr. Fadila. Can somebody take her place and proceed from another region?
Okay, maybe let me chip in quickly before she comes back. I
Okay.
would like to emphasize a little bit about the previous question. We talk about limestone, gypsum, kaolin. If you look at this limestone, the average, the amount of limestone that is being sold in international market is around 35 to $60 per ton. And we have about 1 billion, 200 to 300 million extractable tons of limestone. If you look at gemstone, we also have is around 30 to $60 per ton. And gemstone, we have about 1 billion tons of gemstone in Northeast. Talking about kaolin, kaolin is one of the most expensive resources, solid mineral in the whole world. It's around 150 to 300 dollar per ton, and we have a deposit of about 3 billion tons of kaolin in Northeast. And talking about bentomine clay, is around 50 to 150 50 to 150 dollar per ton in global market. I just leave for the audience to do the remaining mathematics, please.
Thank you very much.
Going back,
Thank you very much. You can proceed.
yes, because thank you, thank you, thank you. Looking at the challenges, if you look at the whole regions, I think we have common challenges with some in the northern region. We have literally almost common challenge. Like Dr. Fatila said, the challenges is being categorized into two. I think in Northeast, the challenges is categorized into almost four factors. Number one, we have insecurity. Number two, we have weak infrastructure. Number three, we have limited access to finance. And four, we have human capital constraint or gap. The insecurity, we all know how the issue of Boko Haram have rattled the region for over a decade, which discourages investments in industries and manufacturing businesses, as well as it disrupts supply chain and forces skilled labor to migrate. Most of the skilled labor that we have in the Northeast have been migrated to other regions, especially to North Central and the Northwest. Abuja to be specific, and Kaduna and Kano. Most of the skilled labor in the Northeast, they have migrated to these places. If you look at the second one is weak infrastructure. Weak infrastructure, I think this is something that is common. We have very poor road networks and limited rail connectivity. Even though in Northeast, even tracing back to history, we don't have much rail connectivity. I think the railway stops at Bauchi, Alkaleri, something or thereabout. Also, it makes it difficult to transport goods efficiently from remote areas to the urban centers. Also, we have the issue of unreliable power supply, which is common, I think, in all the region of the country. Unreliable power supply, and we know unreliable power supply leads to like increase in the marginal cost of production, and this will lead to, or this will translate to increases in price of goods and services. And also it makes the counterpart. The third one is limited access to finance, which is local entrepreneurs struggle to access affordable credit for individual for industrial ventures. And human capital constraint. Human capital constraint here is talking about lower literacy and skilled workers located to safer, more industrialized region, and so on and so forth. I think these are the core challenges that is rattling the northeastern region of the country.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Ali Baba. Okay, Dr. Fadila, please, you can continue with your categorization of the challenges into two. Please, we are with you.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm sorry for the network issue.
It's okay.
Okay, the security and infrastructure. As I mentioned earlier, 5 states out of the 7 are experiencing rampant banditry, kidnapping, and cattle rustling. So this is the major thing that has affected almost everything in Northwest. Then the collapse of most of our industries. Formerly, we had the textile industry, the assembling automobile industry here in Kaduna, the textiles we had in Kano. So due to improper lack of financing, the unreliable power supply, and the smuggling of items out of the country, and the import of these textiles, this has crumbled our textile industry. Then we have the bad road network. Virtually all the states don't have good road networks. When you look at good road networks, we talk about naturally we are not blessed with waterways, so we don't have the waterways here in northern Nigeria, northwest, sorry. Then the railways too have crumbled in the last 20 years. We only see railway tracks without rails moving. So going back to the human capital and institutional, when I'm talking about institutional, you see institutions and policy gaps there. Policies that we have very good frameworks in paper, but going back to implementation, you tend to see that these things are not there. So this is as a result of, I think, the nonchalant attitudes we have and the corruption here. We also have high out of school children, where we have more than 70% of youth population out of school or undereducated, making them unskilled. We also have the brain drain. Most of this, the few youths that are educated here in Northwest, most of them go out to places like the southern parts of Nigeria in order to get sorry please, let me just switch it off to my system. Okay, so brain drain, you see most of these unskilled laborers, instead of them to wait and
Okay, we will see. Hold on for Dr. Fadila. I don't know if Mrs. Christiana is online. Mrs.
Yeah,
Christiana.
also.
Okay.
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay, please, you can speak on why she fixed her network challenges.
Can I speak?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. Regarding the core challenges of industrialization of this area in Southeast Nigeria, we're talking about trade and commerce here. Because I'm careful not to mention any particular raw material produced in the East. Like I said earlier, some of these raw materials are deposited in virtually everywhere, or somehow almost all the states can produce something. So basically in the East, there is no specific raw material that has strong comparative advantage over other states. So that's why I'm holding on to commerce and trade. So this commerce and trade, you know that in the Southeast region, they are very capable of turning an idle area into a business hub. But again, the tax system is very discouraging. You see someone who comes out, who goes under apprenticeship, he settles down, learns a trade for over 5 to 7 years, gets settled, and then someone comes up, pay this tax. Like, so you discourage those people, fizzle out, those small starting up businesses, they fizzle out. And then so many informal arrangements, all these agboro guys, they just come, pay 500, pay 1,000, pay this before you open this shop, before you do this. So those stuffs highly discourage new starters or newcomers to the business hub in the southeast. So that's a problem. Another problem is, of course, we know that in Nigeria, it's not very easy. We don't have a system that makes it very easy to access capital. So you see that in the southeast, most times how you raise capital for your business is if you serve your master small cash just for you to do your magic and multiply it, or he gives you a shop space, figure yourself out, or he gives you goods on credit. Someone you served for several years gives you goods on credit and say, okay, go and sell and give me sell. So you kind of being dependent on the person until you're able to stand. So, and we know that for over several years in the East, um, um, there's been this inactivity on Mondays because of the sit at home. So you notice that activities most times like I said earlier, Easterners specialize in distributive trade. So most of those vehicles, the ferry vehicles going to Sokoto is not going today. Those ones going to this place. And just like Dr. Fadila talked about insecurity, it doesn't only bother on the north, because those people that take their goods to the north are almost not able to do it again because nobody wants to um, risk their lives. So basically, these are one of some of the core challenges here, and we also talk about inadequate infrastructure. Um, if, for example, these guys in Aba are able to produce a shoe or a Louis Vuitton bag that looks all exactly like what is being produced in the US or something, I think if there is enough infrastructure, they can just, because the difference is the high tech. One is of high quality and the other one is just an imitation of it. So I think if we have those machineries that will enable us to produce those goods, because we can replicate them, okay, this looks like this, but now we need high quality materials to make these things original as seen. So I think those are the basic challenges of commerce and industry in the Eastern Nigeria. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Christiana. You said those guys in the East can copy what is produced in US, and this, sorry to correct you, is not copy. What they do is the system they use. I'm forgetting this term in innovations. It's called copycat. You understand? This is how China becomes industrialized. They use copycat approach. They can send Chinese to a particular company to look at how you produce your product and come back produce something different with the same technology. And that is how China becomes one of the most sophisticated country in the world. So we can also do the same thing. There's not anything bad there. They can produce it the same or whatever is copycat, and the world does that. Besides, in USA, most of those products you call in USA and the rest, they are not produced in USA. They are produced in China, in Vietnam. Even iPhones are produced in Vietnam, in South Korea, in China. They only produce it at a cheap level and send it back to Europe and sell it at a very high cost. Thank you very much. Mr. Joseph, are you
Sorry,
there?
sorry, if I
Yeah.
can tell you, if I can write on what you just said. Sorry.
Okay,
As you
okay.
said, it started in 1960s and 1970s. What they did is that they used to go and buy second-hand machineries in Germany and France and bring
Okay.
them back to their own country and pieces them and produce something that is more efficient than the machinery. That's how China become a developed country. Just to
Yes.
say.
Okay. To also let me add again, there's one of my fellow Nigerian here who is doing a PhD it's more like chemistry and the rest with regards to water treatment. And his PhD is for him to dissolve a particular chemical not found in Russia used for water treatment, to dissolve the chemical in a solid state. He would dissolve it into liquid, study that chemical, study the components, then find a domestic uh, 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 ingredient that can be used to produce similar chemical, and that becomes a new product. So it's allowed. It's just that, well, we'll get to that. So Dr. Fadila is back online, maybe so that she can round up her contribution. Thank you, Dr. Fadila. You have the stage.
Okay, thank you very much. As
Okay.
I earlier mentioned, the brain drain of skilled workers, making them move to overseas. Here in the North, we usually get scholarships. Most of the times, like most studies are on a scholarship. So after the education, instead of them to come back and give the input here, most of them run away. They go to other states and overseas. That's the Japan we have.
Dr. Fadila,
So
are you talking to me?
yes.
I'm coming back. Don't worry.
So we also have the weak SMEs as a way of weak SMEs financing. When you have small and medium enterprises go to government to look for finances, they tend to decline their applications. It's usually based on connections, and if you don't have connections, even if you have the innovations and what have you, you will not have the finance. And the corporate credit associations don't have enough finances for that. We also have the informal sector dominance for the tax. Like here, we have more of informal sectors where taxes are not collected. If these taxes are collected, definitely if corruption is not involved, it will be put back to the society. Then we have the fragmented value chain when it comes to from the production to the processing chain. You have farmers lack storage facilities, the processing facilities, even if they have the raw materials, they don't have the proper storage facility. When you look at them, the production of tomatoes, because there are no proper facilities from the farm, before you know it, more than 70% of what was produced would be spoiled along the line in transit. So we also have the issue of lack of economic zones and foreign free trade zones. If the institutions were working, I think every state in Nigeria, every state in Northwest should have a free trade zone or special economic zone.
Let's take, for instance, KB that is specialized in rice farming with the Argungu model. We are supposed to have a special economic zone there. This would attract foreign direct investment. When you look at Jigawa, it produces sesame seed. When you look at Kano, Katsina, we have the granules and what have you. But all these things are not taking this serious. We only have two economic zones, that's the Kano and Jigawa, which the Jigawa is very close to the border, making trade very, very easy with the ECOWAS member states. But the finances and the infrastructure are not there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Fadila, for your wonderful contribution. Dr. David, are you there? Okay, I think Dr. David from Southwest is still not connected. So let me speak for the North Central. You see, Dr. David. Okay, Joseph Kaya.
Yeah, can I speak?
Yes, please do, please. For South.
Thank you very much again for this great opportunity.
Okay.
Clearly, I never wanted to emphasize because the South-South zone is the economic hub of Nigeria as of today. You know, everybody rushed to Abuja, all the whole regions rushed to Abuja for oil money, which is called oil money. That is a common slang to every Nigerian, oil money. And where is it coming from? From the South-South, where crude oil is deposited in large quantity. And that is, I can say that today, Nigeria economy is a monoproduct because that is, oil is the largest GDP of Nigeria as of today. I think everybody is aware of that. That is why I never wanted to dwell much on that. Now, coming to the challenges facing the South-South geopolitical zone or zone, and other persons have mentioned insecurity, limited access to capital, and lack of human capital development of such. They have said that. But I also wanted to mention this, which is also very, very challenging in the South Side, which is environmental degradation. The Delta region faces a decade of long environmental devastation, including what? Frequent oil spillage, soil contamination, gas flaring. No, the rampant ecological damage has also severely degraded traditional livelihoods such as farming. The land was not good for farming. Also, the rivers also has been contaminated, which people can no longer go for fishing. You know that also everybody love seafood, and also it has been a problem because people no longer have this also, which serve them or which can also improve their livelihood when they sell this product. So it's a great challenge to the South-South zone, environmental degradation. Also, you can see that the South-South zone is around the Atlantic Ocean, which currently we have the Calabar port, the Warri port, One. All of them cannot take ship. So you can see that currently we don't have a major seaport in the South-South that can accommodate these ship when they come in with imported commodity from other countries. Therefore, we need to have a port that can accommodate the ship and other imported goods. And also we have insecurity. Insecurity is a challenge to every other region. But I want to mention it because militancy activities, pipeline vandalization is a severe challenge because it has affected oil exploration from the zone, which serve the country by exporting this oil to other countries. So if this problem can be tackled, it can also do well by adjusting it. So let's also talk about bureaucratic inefficiency and poor policy implementation. It's a great challenge too. But our sister from the Southeast has spoken well about it, about the taxes, where state government impose tax or indiscriminately. So it's a great challenge from this very zone. Also, we'll talk about over-dependence on oil, over-dependence. So because of the over-dependence on this oil, and also we know what, as an economic student, I think in those days we used to have, everybody knows what is called a Dutch disease, the Dutch disease, which there is over-dependent on oil from this very region where non-oil sector has been neglected. Those who supposed to engage in farming also have neglected. For example, now, if you can look at the north, is good at agriculture. If you can see, the major players in the oil industry are from the north. The Ranos, all of them are from the Dangote, are from the north. So other sectors have been neglected, and even currently Dangote too has left other areas to where to establish one of the largest refinery in the country. Another challenge also again is what? The refinery. You can see that all the refineries in the south are not functioning today. Talk about the one in Port Harcourt and also the one in Warren. All are not functioning. And you can see that when oil is being transported, it incurs another cost for the transportation of oil crude from where they are being drilled to other where they are going to be refined. So there is cost. So there is cost that goes with it. So therefore, if a refinery can also come to this very zone, or the current one on ground, if the current ones on ground also can be refurbished, it can solve all these problems. Currently, you know what is happening in the country today.
Yes,
What is happening?
thank
So,
you, Mr. Joseph, for your time. We will go. We will embark on a.
Question, please.
Hello.
May I ask a question, please, about what he said before we go off, please?
Okay, please do
yes,
that. Do that first.
do that.
Sorry to interrupt you. I was going to ask about the tax system in South because I'm really interested in it. You know, we all know as economists that tax is not a bad thing. So
Yes.
when we talk about the extraction of oil in the South, this obviously poses negative externalities, of which you mentioned, pollution and stuff like that of the rivers. So I want to know, the government, what are they doing about that? Because we know that there's temptation for overproduction of those goods that pose negative externalities if they are
Sorry,
not put in check.
sorry, Christiana, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, please, let's go for 10 minutes technical break. Let me convert the video, then we reconvene, please.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
Then I
you're
can
asking a very important question. Thank you. We'll continue from there. Let me convert the video. Thank you.